whatever work it is that you're looking for, it's giving yourself, I think, that leeway to accept failure, right? And be okay with it, but don't continue with failure, right? You have to try and, I think, progress yourself at that 1% level, because at some point you're going to succeed, and as you keep succeeding, again, the good things just start to happen. You start to lose the weight, you do get stronger, you are more mobile, you have less injury, you've got these things that you've wanted to attain. You may not have the six pack, but you feel a heck of a lot better.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
Today's episode is sponsored by Help I Threw Out My Back. This is my book on Amazon. It's 4 simple workouts to ease muscle tension and develop core strength. We are here with Justin Brink of Premier Spine and Sport in San Jose, California. Justin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to get right to it. You're a chiropractor. You've been a chiropractor for a while, right? 2006?
15 years. Yeah, 2006.
15 years. Awesome.
Yep.
So let's talk general health, and we can get into fitness a little bit specifically as well. What if you meet somebody at a dinner party, what is they find out you're a chiropractor, what are the 1, 2, 3 things generally that somebody can do to kind of get fit, get healthy? What's the starting point? What would you say is the foundation?
I think foundation for most is just to get out and start to move, right? I think that they feel like, well, I'm not in shape enough to go to the gym yet. Well, when does that ever happen, right? So it's like, well, I need to do this before I do this. It's like, well, just take some baby steps. Just go out for a little 5-minute walk if that's the case. Break up the monotony of your day. Do what you can do. I get people to exercise by just sitting on the floor, up and down off the floor. Keep it, just keep it super simple to begin with. And then whatever those goals are future-wise for them, go ahead and do it.
Giving them that on-ramp, right? Giving them that. So many people see the online fitness celebrities and they're, I'll never get there.
Yeah.
Truth is, you could get there if you devoted the next 3 to 5 years to, your fitness all day long. And as far as how realistic some of those people's physiques are is questionable. Yes. But I like that. Just do something. And what I tell people too is if you're literally starting ground zero and you have nothing, you're in the worst shape of your life, decide to spend the next 6 months doing the most incredibly easy fitness program that you could possibly see. And don't analyze whether it worked or not for 6 months.
Yes.
And then, more often than not, somewhere around month 3, 4, they're going to be like, all right, this is too easy now. I need to up my game a little bit. And that's where you want to be. It kind of happens organically instead of forcing it. Right.
And I think to piggyback on what you just said is also make it fun.
Yes.
Right. If you hate to run, why are you going outside and running?
Right.
That's not making it fun for you.
Right.
You're hating every mile that you're putting down on that pavement. Why keep running? Go bike, go swim, go walk, go play with your kids on a playground or something, but why run? So
I love that. And the fact is there's 1,000,001 different ways to get fit.
Yes.
Why are you choosing the one that you absolutely hate?
That's right. And
very good.
We think that running is the key to fitness,
Right.
No, it's not,
Right.
That's key to stress if you hate it.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Awesome. So what do you, let's say you are working with somebody who, let's say they have been fit in the past and something happened, a life event or, stress or work or whatever it is, and they sort of fall off the wagon. Like they lose their mojo or whatever, they just stop doing it. What do you tell that person who already has some experience under their belt and they're sort of wanting to get back into it?
What is your goal, right? What's your 6-month goal? What's your 3-month goal? What's your 1-month goal? What's your this week goal, right? So we know right now they're not going to achieve 6 months, but they can achieve today, right? And so if we can go baby steps, 6 months will be here before we know it, but one day is over super fast, and so I ask my clients, all the time, give me 1% better today than you did yesterday, because in 3 months time, you're already at 90% better. So all I'm looking for is just that 1% effort more. But if you didn't make 1%, be okay with that, right? Because tomorrow, hey, it's still there and it's only 1%. I'm not asking for another 100, right? It's just an easy 1% change.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just taking that one step at a time. And eventually, eventually you look back and you go, oh, wow, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking about that in the moment, right? You're just thinking about this workout today. This is what we're doing today. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
And I think a lot of people like to look at what they did years ago, right? And say, I think I can do that again. Well, you're not the same human anymore. You're different. You've got different things going on. So let's see if we can build back to that human who you were. But right now, you're different. So let's put goals down that you can realistically achieve now. And let's see if we can get back to what you thought that you were, but you're just a new you now.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's a good point. Probably the best shape of my life was when I was 14, freshman, sophomore in high school. I was, obviously young, and then playing basketball 3 hours a day, football, running, all these sports, and, no real stress, right? Homework, that's about it. Yeah. And if I were to think like, okay, well, what would I have to do now to become in the best shape of my life? I am not willing to do what I did when I was 14 to get in that kind of shape. It's just not worth it to me. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Now, if you could take all your bills and worries away and just have homework, might be easier.
Might be easier. There you go. I'll work out 4 hours a day.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll come home and have dinner already prepared. We're good.
Right. How easy. Oh, my laundry's done. You put it away for me? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. So what about you personally? For me personally, I in the past, I've struggled a lot with injury, and I'm always sort of thinking about injury. And that's why I do the type of training that I do now, a lot of core, a lot of flexibility, alignment, things like that. That's sort of how that's probably my biggest struggle with fitness. I have no struggle with doing it every day. It's just, I always have to keep that in the back of my mind. Like, don't overdo it, be aware of your form, things like that. What would you say for you personally is kind of the biggest fitness hurdle, or like where you sometimes tend to struggle? And then also the second half of that, I would say, and how have you overcome that in the past?
I think consistency, has been a big one. Building my practice, that's first and foremost for me, but because we have such a big movement, based practice, I want to practice what I preach, right? So for me, it's staying flexible. It's staying, having the mobility that I'm asking my clients to have. So I need to make sure I work on that stuff. But then outside of that mobility, that I'm trying to get, people to do it myself, is I like to do more CrossFit stuff or golf or play tennis or just try and stay active. So it's trying to keep a routine that I can sustain, that, and I still have kids and I have a practice, and, I've got all those, sort of lifestyle things that I still need to keep in order as well. So I think consistency is the key for me. And it's easy to get off that wagon as well. And then, how I try and do it is I just set one little goal, all right, this week, I want to jump on my Peloton bike once this week, at 6 o'clock in the morning, because I have my alarm set for 6 every morning to get on it, but that doesn't happen too often, So, but again, I still work out in the afternoons and do that type of stuff. But I'm like, all right, if I want to get some cardio in, I'm going to go jump on the bike. But again, if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with it, because I'm doing other aspects of fitness throughout the day anyways. Yeah,
there's definitely a sort of a balance that you want to strike, right? You want to shoot for a goal. And I like that, how you practice what you preach, right? You just told me that you want your clients to just take that one step and do that one goal. And then you, same thing, like, let me just get on it one time this week.
Yeah.
And so you have this goal and you're aiming for it, yet you're not so, you kind of give yourself a little bit of leeway. I think that's a really important thing to mention, because I think a lot of people who are either just starting or trying to get back on the bandwagon, so to speak, they think they have to be perfect.
Yes.
And I, and this is one thing actually that comes up with me. And anytime I go to like a kid's birthday party or something, you have kids, the food selections are awful, right? They're just like, you're not going to find anything. And then, would you like cake, ice cream, both? Right? It's like, oh God. And people are really surprised when they see me, a fitness trainer, eating pizza, eating, drinking a grape juice and eating some ice cream. And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there are no rules. Like, and
Yeah.
I tell them, you know, the reason why I feel like I can do this and not feel guilty is because 99% of the time during the week, I'm like, I'm fine, right? I'm eating salads. I'm eating, you
Yeah.
know, healthy meats. I'm eating good stuff. So I think that's important too, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely think that whether it's nutrition, it's fitness, it's mobility, it's, whatever work it is that you're looking for, it's giving yourself, I think, that leeway to accept failure, right? And be okay with it, but don't continue with failure, right?
Right.
You have to try and, I think, progress yourself at that 1% level, because at some point you're going to succeed, and as you keep succeeding, again, the good things just start to happen. You start to lose the weight, you do get stronger, you are more mobile, you have less injury, you've got these things that you've wanted to attain. You may not have the six pack, but you feel a heck of a lot better, because of that. So,
Right.
aesthetically speaking, yeah, you're great all the way around, except for maybe that. But again, at the end of the day, that's that top tier of people that want to go do that stuff. And for me, I'm like, I don't care about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's only been recently that I've finally gotten to that point where I'm like, it really is not at all about the physical, like at all.
Yeah.
It's really like, I feel great. I just turned 40 6 months ago, and I literally feel just great. I'm like, I can touch my toes now. I couldn't touch my toes when I was a teenager because my back was so tight. And it's just, it really is more about inside, and then that works itself out. And I'm sure I, look better because I'm happier. I feel better in my body, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's great, getting to that point where, you can not really care what the, what the
What the
Instagram
world
star
thinks.
says. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Justin, if let's say you're the keynote speaker at a university graduation. They call you in, they say, we know you have some experience in life. So what kind of message do you want to give to the graduates, in general, about life, about, success, about pursuing your dreams, things like that? You can maybe weave health and fitness into it, but what's the bigger picture message that you would say to those graduates in like 1 to 2 minute kind of keynote speech?
I think, you're looking at like the world that we're in right now, where there's a lot of negativity that's going around, in whatever, left or right side, whatever, blue, red, whatever you think you are. I think that just staying positive, right? Stay positive about who you are, stay positive about who your friends are that's around you, your inner circle, stay positive around, about what's in the world, right now, because we draw too much negativity, towards ourselves, whether it's now inner negativity, right? And then negativity towards family or friends or whatever, or someone said something wrong that I didn't quite, agree with. And now the world is nothing but negative, thoughts. You look at the news and that's all it ever is. It's never saying, well, this guy did an amazing job today at work, good job with that, with that guy, so I think being positive and forgiving yourself if you did do something wrong, right? And being okay with that, right? And being able to move forward, just again, keep a positive outlook on yourself first, right? Because you got to love yourself first before anything else, and move forward with you, because then everything else just sort of blossoms, I think, after that.
Yeah, that's great. It's interesting you mentioned the news, and it's funny. I'm definitely guilty of this too, and getting kind of sucked in, right? Because they say calamity will sell, right? It'll sell commercial time, right? I'm almost wondering if we've gone so far down this path of doom and gloom and misery that if there's a market for like a happy news channel, like you said, oh, Johnny went to work today, and he, on his way there, a woman dropped her keys, and he picked them up and ran them up ahead, and he said, "Here you go, ma'am. Here are your keys."
Yeah, exactly.
I almost think we've seen so much of the other side that it's like, this would be so refreshing if we could get some of that.
That would be huge.
That'd be awesome.
And I think you're onto something.
Let's talk after this.
That's right.
And I think really, like, it's funny because I always have to remind myself of this too, is that I think really in probably in your day-to-day life, definitely in my day-to-day life, that's really what it is. It's like, it's going above and beyond for our clients. It's, being there for our kids, our spouses, seeing people on the street and saying hi, and, things like that. And the only time that I see drama is when you know, the newscasters tell me that some dramatic things are happening.
Sure.
And I don't want to minimize the fact, because there are some people in the world who are going through all kinds of crazy turmoil. And we are incredibly fortunate where we live and when we live. Yeah, I think I agree with you. The divisiveness, the drama, the hatred, it's pretty intense. So looking at that positivity and how can I control my own perception and reaction, right? It's important.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I really appreciate this and the positivity. And it sounds like you're right along the same lines as how I think. It's like, you know, one bite at a time, take one step, and you know, just be good to yourself and forgive yourself when you skip a workout, you know, stuff like that. Right.
Yeah. It's okay. Tomorrow's coming regardless.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
so just get ready for tomorrow and, you know, go in and crush tomorrow.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
Justin, I want to give you a chance also, you know, you're at Premier Spine and Sport in San Jose. I want to give you a chance to talk about how to contact you. What's your website, phone number, any information you want to give?
Yeah. Website is just premierspineandsport.com. We also have our recovery lab that's here, which is Premier Recovery Lab. We've got cryotherapy, infrared sauna, Normatec, more of the recovery side for people that need that, you know, sort of meditative, you know, let me just chill a little bit. Instagram, you know, Dr. Justin Brink, you know, or Premier Spine and Sport or Premier Recovery Lab, you know, all three of those. Easiest way is just if you want DM, you know, on any of those media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, you know, we're always posting different things on there as well. Yeah. And if you got questions, you can always reach out and ask questions as well. You know, I'm pretty good about getting back to anyone around, you know, whoever listens to different podcasts or, you know, on Facebooks and stuff and answering questions. So.
Awesome. And you're you still in the same location, like Cherry Avenue and Almaden, that area?
Yep. Same location there, sort of like South San Jose area.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, Justin, thank you so much for joining me today, and really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Visit mycorebalance.com to learn more.